We haven't seen scoring like this on the Korn Ferry Tour this year, and we've got a new winner on the road to French Lick. Hi, everyone, and welcome once again to the Road to French Lick, a show chronicling the Korn Ferry Tour. I'm Ryan Blanchet. On this week's episode, we're on the ground of the NV5 Invitational at the Glen Club in Illinois. Brendan Sweeney's there talking to players. We have a couple of different interviews for you, including the winner of last week's event, the Price Cutter Charity Championship, as well as Neal Shipley, two-time winner this year on the tour. And we'll talk to the tournament director of the NV5 Invitational as well. Let's get into a recap of the last event on the schedule. Price Cutter Charity Championship played at Highland Springs Country Club out in Springfield, Missouri. Become a little bit of a golf hotbed, but this has become a great tournament over the years and has been a long-standing event on the schedule, with Price Cutter being a great sponsor to this event. Chandler Blanchet is the winner of this tournament. He earns his first career Korn Ferry Tour win, and he did it in fascinating fashion. He opened the tournament with back-to-back 62s, 10 under par on this golf course as set up for the Korn Ferry Tour. So he was at 20 under par through two rounds, well ahead of everybody else after taking just 124 strokes to get through the first two rounds of the tournament. Things changed on the weekend, though. On Saturday, he only shot 3 under 69, and that allowed a lot of players to get into contention, or at least the fringes of contention, thinking that they might be able to track him down, including Neal Shipley, who shot 68 in the third round and gained a little bit of ground after opening with 63 and then 66 in the second round, had himself in a decent position through two rounds relative to the guy that was 20 under par. In the end, though, in the final round, the big move was made by Patrick Welsh, who shot 63, his second 63 of the week. He shot 63 on Friday, 63 on Sunday. Unfortunately for him, 71 in between was the complicating factor. In the end, Blanchet did the job. He shot 4 under 68 on Sunday to finish on 27 under 261. That was good enough for a 3-shot win over Welsh. Sudarshan Yalamaraju, who won earlier this year in the second event of the season out in the Bahamas, he finished in a tie for third place along with Brandon Valdez. They were on 22 under par. Some names that we've talked about a number of times this season: Emilio Gonzalez and Adrian Dumonte Chessard, who has a 59 this year on the Korn Ferry Tour and didn't win the event in which he shot 59. Those guys finished in a tie for fifth place on 19 under par. And as mentioned, Neal Shipley was part of the group, sizable group, at a tie for seventh place on 18 under total. We talked with Chandler Blanchet at the NV5 Invitational, getting ready for the post-win start on the Korn Ferry Tour season. Our Brendan Sweeney spoke with the new champion on the Korn Ferry Tour.
All right, Chandler, first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what happened last week. I mean, well, you come out with a par, then you follow with an eagle, and then all of a sudden you shoot 162, and then the next day, another 62, for I think is the lowest first two rounds in Korn Ferry history.
Yeah, it was a pretty special week. I mean, I've been hitting it well for a while. I feel like I've been really owning my game, kind of knowing where it's going and what decisions to be making. I striped it the first day, and then holed out on the second hole the second day. So I kind of just had
From what, about $140 out?
Yeah, 140. So it was a good way to start the second round. And then I trailed out with just kept stuffing it. So it was sweet.
The hole was about that big?
Yeah, I was hitting it close too. Yeah, it was awesome. Everything was firing.
So that day one, then day two, to follow up a 62 with a 62, I mean, was it just like, all right,
yeah,
we're going to town?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like the 62, the first round was a special round.
Yeah.
And I kind of said this in my interview right after the second round, was like, I'm going to give myself a little bit of grace for the second round. Like, it's easy to kind of not play great after a low round. You know?
Sure.
You got these comparisons. I was like, we're going to feel like we're drawing just a new picture. We're not comparing it to yesterday. I parred the first par 5, and then just got it going. So it was really cool.
That's awesome.
It was a great day.
What's this week been like? After your first victory on tour, you shoot up exponentially on the points list.
Yep.
You have a little relief coming off your chest.
Yeah, definitely. It was kind of like, that would be a little bit of a word I would use as I finish. It was like a little bit of a relief. It was a stressful Sunday, 4-shot lead, but I was kind of keeping the pedal down, but you didn't want to be too aggressive and give up any shots. So I felt like I hit 17 greens. I hit it very well. I hit it to the fat side of the hole most holes. So it wasn't too stressful, but it was still stressful. Stomach was still in knots on 18.
When you're on pace for the 62, obviously, are you thinking 59?
No, I was never really thinking.
No,
59. I don't know. I was so present. Like I was never really getting ahead of myself. My brother used to always say, like, don't get nervous till you get to double digits under par. And the second round, I got double digits under par in 17. I was like, well, what do we need to do on 18?
Yeah.
And I did go for the green. And I got up and, I think I 3-putted for par. But,
whatever.
Yeah.
At that point.
So that was sweet.
What's this week been like? I know I'm sure you had a lot of inquiries, not only from us, your beautiful bag with the French Lake Resort on it. I mean, just from watching you walk in, the fellas, high-fiving you and saying congrats, it's your time. I mean, you as a professional golfer, I mean, it's got to be just the ultimate coolness.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, just to win out here is tough. It's, I've played 90 events out here and I've had a handful of buddies win, and it's cool to see them win. And it kind of just fuels the belief in you because we're playing with each other every day. But it was awesome to lift the trophy last week and peers reaching out and whatnot. It's a very cool feeling. And I'm excited to tee it up this week. My family flew in yesterday, so
cool.
Got to hang out with him. I was hanging with the little guy all morning.
Awesome.
So it's been good.
Well, that's part of the fun part about being on the road. You can take your family with you. But Chandler, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We're really proud of you, and it's nice to finally meet you.
Yeah.
I heard a lot about you, and everything I've heard so far is pretty much true. So congrats, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Sincerely.
it.
I mean, that's awesome.
With his win at the Price Cutter Charity Championship, Chandler Blanchet moves up to 7th in the point standings at 1,033 points on the season, gets him much closer to practically locking up a PGA Tour card for 2026. Remember, the top 20 players in the Korn Ferry Tour points list at the end of the Korn Ferry Tour Championship, presented by United Leasing and Finance at the French Lake Resort, will have those spots for 2026. But we now look at the top 5 in the standings, which was unchanged from last week. Austin Smotherman, who is guaranteed to have a PGA Tour card in 2026, and is the only player on the Korn Ferry Tour to do so, still leads the standings at 1,744 points. Johnny Kiefer remains second on that points list, getting closer toward that guarantee of being on tour next year, but still not there yet at 1,448 points. Neal Shipley is now third in the points list. He is at 1,385 points. Hank Lebiota is now fourth in the point standings, 1,384 points, so less than a point difference between those two guys, and S.H. Kim, a winner this year as well, it remains in fifth place at 1,313 points. If you look down toward the bottom of the Korn Ferry Tour point standings, in that top 20, Alvaro Ortiz is the number 20 player on the list. He is at 682.9 points. Logan McAllister, who was on the show earlier this year and is a winner on the season, he is 21st on the points list at 655 points. So there is a little bit of a gulf between that 20 and 21 slot. And there are a number of players who have won this year, including McAllister, Kyle Westmoreland, who's been on our show this year, as well as Bryson Nimbers, winner on the tour this year, who are sitting currently outside that top 20 number. They need to continue to gain points in these final 8 events of the season to be able to earn a PGA Tour card for 2026.
You've arrived at French Lick Resort, here in Indiana. 2 hotels you have to see to believe. Legendary Golf by Pete Dye and Donald Ross. Our little corner of the world is like nowhere else. Your French Lick getaway starts now at FrenchLick.com.
Our other guest this week on the road to French Lick is Neal Shipley, who's won twice this year on the Korn Ferry Tour. He's practically guaranteed a spot on the PGA Tour in 2026, and Brendan Sweeney caught up with him at the NV5 Invitational out in Illinois.
All right, Neal. What we got going on, man? How you liking Chicago so far?
It's been good. Good week so far.
Yeah, you had a pretty exciting year going on. You come out of the shooting low 60s yesterday, and what are you looking at? Oh, my God, 62 from Chandler.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
It's been a good week. That last week was great, and the week before in Colorado was really good.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice to have kind of our card kind of locked up now.
Yeah, that's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How was it going from James Madison, go back a couple years, to Ohio State? I mean, how good was that?
I mean, that transition was awesome. I had a great time at James Madison, but definitely felt like it, needed a change, and Ohio State was just awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a great program, and Coach Mo's been great to me, and honestly to James Madison, Coach Evans, Coach Forbes, they were awesome and really helped my development as well. So
got it.
Shout out to all those guys.
What are your plans for this week? What are you preparing for?
Just doing our normal stuff.
Lights out.
Trying to see all 18 holes. Make sure we rest, and it's hot, so just gotta do all those little things and hydrate and all that too. So.
Cool. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
Good luck, man.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
We're also excited to welcome NV5 Invitational Tournament Director Chris Montagano to the show. We talked with Brendan Sweeney out at the Glen Club about the event, about promoting the Korn Ferry Tour, being forward-thinking as one of the events on the slate every year, and just being one of the better stops on the Korn Ferry Tour schedule.
Chris, thanks, man. Congratulations. I know last time we spoke was about a year ago.
Yeah.
Almost to the day.
Yeah.
How does the city of Chicago embrace the Korn Ferry Tour? And it's, I mean, if you're in Chicago, you're a sports star.
Sure.
And Chicago doesn't have movie stars. Well,
Yeah.
they do, but they all play sports.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it like out here?
It's good. I mean, I think when we started this event back in 2019, I remember as we'd go to events, whether it was a Chicago Golf Show or whatever it may be, and people were
With
like,
the Shannon Rovers?
Yeah, what's the what's the Korn Ferry Tour? And now I think we're getting to the point where when we're at events, we're promoting the event. I think people are now starting to, over the last few years, really kind of understanding what it is. I mean, it surely helps when your inaugural champion, Scotty Scheffler, continues to dominate the world of golf. So it gives us an easy way to say what you can see here. The next Scotty Scheffler could be right here at Glenview again.
Yeah, I tell you what. I mean, he won a lot in the Korn Ferry Tour.
Yeah.
And everybody who we speak to, they all say the same thing.
Yeah.
What a great guy.
Nicest guy in the world.
It
Nicest
is.
guy in
And
the world.
we saw, when he won the Open, just a great family guy and just really, really tight to community and whatnot. But, this community up here on the north side of Chicago really has some legendary people here.
Yeah.
You have one legend, a Chicago legend playing this week, Kevin Streelman.
Sure.
From Wheaton, Illinois.
Yeah.
What's up with Kev? He's trying to make a comeback?
Yeah, I think,
get back on there? Has some exempt status?
No, he's got status. He had a little injury out in Phoenix this year, and I think he's just, he's familiar with Chicago, wanted to make a little rehab start, so he called me a few weeks ago and said, hey, I may be in town. So we're excited to have him. He's helping us out a little bit this week, and playing in the Pro-Am here today on Monday, and he's helping us out in our Pro-Am cocktail party tomorrow evening. So it'd be good to have him in the field, and I think some of the Chicago golf fans will enjoy seeing him out here.
Well, yeah. What other local celebrities have come out here playing in the Pro-Am?
We've got Roger Steele is going to be out here.
Sure.
And then local influencer Daryl, Cooking with Daryl, is going to be out here. So for those that follow him, he's so he did some stuff out here last year. He's going to be out here tomorrow. I'm sorry, doing some stuff for the players and caddies on the range, doing some cooking, some Chicago staples, and he's going to play with Roger, and then Jesse Solomon, who's star of the show Summer House. He's going to be out here as well. So we've got them all grouped together, and they're going to help us promote some things leading into tournament week. So
cool. On a typical day, you're talking. You got some great Chicago sponsors here. I mean, the Big Ten Network, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
I'm sure their whole crew is going to be out here. But what could a fan experience out here at the NV5?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great day of golf. Obviously, weather's always a concern in the Windy City, but yeah, I think we've got a great opportunity. Our 17th hole has a really cool venue. It's an upgraded ticket, and on 17, which is a great par 3, but on the weekend we've got a Discover Golf. They're a junior golf company located here on the North Shore. They set up a junior golf activation. Kids can come out, hit some shots. We set up right in the parking lot here. They do it on Saturday and Sunday. It's been a huge favorite over the years, and we're excited to have them back.
Cool. Well, hey, best of luck. Thanks for having me out here.
Good.
And tell you what, if you're in Chicagoland area, you want to come up to the north side, this is definitely a place to go and maybe catch a ball game. You never know. But
Absolutely.
got some great golf here. And the cool thing about the Korn Ferry Tour is it's getting more competitive as you go. And, this year at French Lick, it's reduced down to like 70 guys, and only the top 20 guys get their cards.
Yep.
Next year, the PGA Tour is dropping down from 125 to 100. So those 25 guys will be funneling down.
Yep.
So your field here next year is going to be even stronger. And all these guys realize it too.
No doubt. So we actually kind of saw a little bit of it. They didn't stay in the field, but I mean, Cam Champ and Nick Watney were in the field for a short period of time, and until recently, I think they may be playing up at 3M this week. But I think we're already starting to see it, and guys are looking for more of those playing opportunities. So it'd be nice. So I think we'll I always say the Korn Ferry Tour is like seeing the band before they were big, but I think it'll be nice to have some of those names kind of coming back and help us promote the events for sure.
I tell you what, good luck. Let's hope there's some great weather up here, and John Coleman doesn't show his shiny head one more time. I'm saying, watch out, cooler near the lake. Take care, man. Thanks, Chris. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Boom.
Brandy Sweeney joins us. He's at the NV5 Invitational out there in Illinois, Glenview. Glen Club hosting once again this year. One of the better tournaments on the schedule. Brendan, why don't you tell us what you've been up to out there and the vibe you're getting at this point in the season?
I tell you what, the Glen Club really puts on a fabulous job here. The Western Golf Association, the work with the Evans Scholars and all the clubs around the Chicagoland area, they really do a bang-up job. But it's a great test of golf here. The Glen Club is one of Chicago's finest establishments, and I think it's their 5th year at the Glen Club. And the vibe of the players, it's sort of shifting. I mean, when we started off this year in the Bahamas, gosh, this is what, our 15th show? It seems like, all right, a freshness came. Everybody sort of had an optimistic view. But you could see how the players are starting to separate, right? Their practice is more intense. They know that the runway is getting shorter. They know that they have to. There's only like one established guy, right? Austin, that has his card so far. Hank and Neal Shipley are pretty much the next 2 guys that go up based upon what they do this week. But yeah, you could definitely tell there's a change in the air, and things are starting to get pretty intense rapidly. And in order to make the playoffs, I mean, we talk about it every week. You got to score and you got to perform. You got to get those points, and the points come with wins, and it comes down to putts and dropping the list from 30 guys to 20. And then at the PGA Tour, dropping 25 players, dropping down to 100. Starting next year, it definitely is going to be the players who play well. I mean, we look out here and just behind us, Kevin Streelman from Wheaton, Illinois, Chicago's very own. He's out here trying to make it, and I think he's coming off a medical. He's just trying to get some reps in. But it's real, dude. This is it's Chicagoland in its finest. Chicago doesn't really have movie stars. They have sports stars. And coming tomorrow, they have the Pro-Am, and you'll see a lot of Chicago's finest current and former athletes. They come out of the woodwork, and then the social influencing crowd is going to be out here. That's a new buzzword that we're trying to ride that pony on as much as we can. So yeah, I'm happy to be back in Chicago. Caught a Cubs game last night. Unfortunately, they lost to Kansas City, but caught up with some old friends and had a great time. So yeah, Chicago's a great town. It's amazing. I spent 30 years here, and then every time I come back, it's changed a little bits here and there, but it's still good to see like old friends and old familiar faces.
Talking about how tough it is to kind of make up ground here at this point in the season, and this will be a little transition to last week. Talking about last week in Springfield, Missouri. Chandler Blanchet won at 27 under par, and he was 20 under par through 2 rounds, back-to-back 62s. Out there, set the pace. He was up a zillion, and then just kind of hung on with 7 under golf on the weekend and got the job done pretty easily, to be honest with you. How dispiriting does that have to be to someone who's thinking about struggling to get into the playoffs or struggling to get into that top 75 or whatever number you're chasing at the moment, when a guy who goes out there and just shoots 62s and effectively ends the tournament before you get to the weekend?
Well, and I spoke to Chandler and I spoke to Neal Shipley today. We'll see those later on. But how about Neal? How about Neal Shipley? He goes out and he shoots a 64, 63, and he's 5 shots back. Yeah. It's nuts. And, the cut line's at -6. Chandler starts off par and then holes out 140 yards for an eagle on a second and then just shifts gears and goes. And I asked him, I said, was 59 ever in the back of your mind? And he said, not really. He was just taking each one hole by a time. But the follow is 62 with another 62 is just absolutely insane. I think that was the largest margin of separation after the first 2 rounds. The 2 lowest scores combined in the Korn Ferry history. but it's cool. Yeah. Chandler's a great guy. He's got the French Lick logo on his bag. Bang. And we're looking forward to seeing him. He's a cool dude. Really easy to talk to, and couldn't be more proud of him. And the cool thing about Chandler is I got him when he was walking in, and that's right when all the other players saw him, like the first time since he won, and just the camaraderie of the congratulations from a very sincere, hey man, great job, and to see the glow in his eye of saying, hey, I like the taste of victory. It's good, and good for him, man. But yeah, having a 62-62 and he winds up winning by 4, and just as long as he doesn't 3-putt the last one, it's win by 1. But yeah, it's amazing the amount of talent that is out here, Ryan, and the amount of people that it takes to keep somebody going. And it's just, Chandler's such a humble young man, family guy. His family's in from out of town. They got a VRBO down the street, and doing a super wonderful job of his support system.
I feel like now, we've talked about this is their 15th show. There are 8 events left in the season, 4 regular season events, including this week, and the 4 playoff events. It feels like, all right, now, and you kind of touched on this a little earlier, we've got our 6 or 7 best guys. They're clearly who they are. Austin, Neal, Hank, S.H. Kim,
Davis,
Johnny Davis,
Kiefer,
Pearson Cootie, and certainly Austin Smotherman. I mean, those feel like the guys that are getting there one way or another, right? Either you've already gotten there in Austin's case, you're practically there in Johnny, Hank, and Neal's case, or you're going to be somewhere in that top 20. So it's got to be tougher for some of the guys who are out there now who aren't in that elite company, that now you're not playing for 20 spots. You're playing for like 13 the rest of the way.
Well, actually, you're playing for 70, right? You're playing for conditional status next year, and if you don't get it, if you don't get in the playoffs,
for a championship just to get a guaranteed spot on the Korn Ferry Tour next year.
And you look at the intensity of what their week in, week out routine is, and if, let's say, for example, you pull a muscle in your shoulder, and now you're halfway through the season, and now you're fighting off the injury bug. And you see the physio guy downstairs here today. There's a line out the door, and these guys are athletes, but they got here. They finished up in Springfield, and many of them drove the 8 hours to get from Springfield, Missouri, to Chicago, and get out of a car. And next thing you know, you're on the range and you're beating balls. And if you're hurt, you're injured, now you're fighting that other demon out there. Not only the points, you're fighting your body. And some of the older guys, you can see they're hobbling around a little bit, and some of the caddies are getting replaced as well too. So I see a lot of people, like we look at Bryson, who won. We look at Kyle Westmoreland, who won. And at the beginning of the year, it's like, all right, they're top 10, and now they're falling down in that mid 20 range, and they got to jack up their game just to get back in the game. I mean, it's going to take more than one victory to get your card on the Korn Ferry Tour. As we said before, you're looking at 1,000 points. That may go up based upon, there's four regular season. And then once the playoff starts, those points go from 500 to 600. So and 100-point difference is huge. And that can really skyrocket you up. But I think, you look at someone like Shipley, who's got 2 wins underneath his belt, and Austin, who already has his card. He got hashtag tour bound already. It's exciting, and there's not a lot of people covering the Korn Ferry Tour, Ryan, like we do. I don't think anybody is. So to say that we have the inside track on some of this stuff is pretty cool. And it all leads to French Lick and presented by United Leasing and Finance. So we're all ready to rock and roll, baby.
Yeah, before you know it, we've got the month of August as the kind of conclusion of the regular season, and throw in this week too, and then we're in playoff mode. And then you quickly kind of get down to that top 75, and you're playing for your card. You're playing for your slot too, even if you've got a card, and that matters quite a bit as well. Even though the PGA Tour is going down from 125 to 100. Get a clean look at it next year with 20 graduates. There are less players to contend with for spots for the regular season events. Get a pretty decent schedule out of it. But if you're 17, 18, 19, 20, that's a little different than being 2, 3, 4, or 5.
100%. 100%. You got to go full throttle. Got to go full throttle.
You can't play for the layup and go, I've got my card.
And then what does that mean? I mean, are you taking unnecessary risks? Are you know, if you're, well, what is it? You got to make the cut. If you don't make the cut, you're done. So yeah, look at these guys who are shockers. That it's like, wow, I thought they were better, but it's the game of golf, and it when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we got a long way to go still, even though it feels like we're a long way into this. We've still got a long way to go, and a lot of things can still happen, including this week at a Glen Club. So, Brendan, thanks as always for being on the road for us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man.
That'll do it for us this week on the road to French Lick. We appreciate you watching. Our next show will be after the NV5 Invitational, where Brendan Sweeney was this week ahead of the tournament, talking to players and getting ready for the final stretch of the regular season. We'll have a recap show after that event out in Illinois. For Brendan Sweeney and everyone at the French Lick Resort, I'm Ryan Ballingy. For everyone at Golf News Net, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time on the road to French Lick.
French Lick, Indiana, our little corner of the world, has big things waiting. It's where legends were made, on the court and on the course. Walter Hagen, Colin Montgomery, Betsy Rawls, and Mickey Wright. It's where life is lived to the fullest, and where unexpected adventures are around every corner. Big things are waiting. Are you in? Visit FrenchLick.com and start your escape here in Indiana.